My name is Laura Mitchell, and I'm 34 years old. Last Sunday at my son Jake's 7th birthday party, my mother-in-law stood up in front of 30 guests, raised her champagne glass, and announced that my son is not really family. Not once. Not twice. 3 times. Jake sat at the head of the table. His birthday crown was slightly crooked. The candles on his cake were still unlit. He looked at me with those big brown eyes, confused, searching my face for something. I smiled at him. "Keep smiling, baby, keep smiling. Here's what Margaret didn't know, what nobody in that room knew yet. I had been waiting for this moment for 6 years. I had a folder on my phone, 47 items, every comment, every slight, every moment she made my son feel like he didn't belong. Today, she was going to see every single one. But before I tell you what was in that folder and what happened when I showed it to the room, let me tell you how we got here. Hit that like button and subscribe. Drop your location in the comments. Now let me tell you the full story. Jake is adopted. We adopted him at birth. My husband Daniel and I had been trying to have a biological child for 6 years. 6 years of hope, 6 years of disappointment, 3 failed IVF cycles, 2 miscarriages, doctor's appointments that blurred together, waiting rooms, negative tests, crying in bathrooms, in cars, in the shower so Daniel wouldn't hear. By year 5, we had spent $80,000. We had nothing to show for it except grief and medical bills. Then our adoption counselor called. A birth mother had chosen us. She was due in 3 weeks. I couldn't breathe. He was born on a Tuesday morning, 3 days old when they placed him in my arms. He was so small. He smelled like something I had never smelled before and somehow already recognized. He grabbed my finger, wrapped his tiny hand around it, and held on. That was it. He was mine. He had always been mine. The 6 years of pain dissolved in that moment. We named him Jacob Daniel Mitchell. "Jake," Daniel cried. Big, ugly, beautiful tears. He held Jake for 2 hours and wouldn't put him down. We called our families. Everyone was thrilled. Everyone except one person. Margaret. Daniel's mother had always been particular. Particular about tradition, about appearances, about what things were supposed to look like. A daughter-in-law who couldn't have children was already a quiet disappointment she never voiced, but always communicated. An adopted grandchild was something else entirely. She came to visit when Jake was 3 weeks old. I watched her face when she first held him. There was something missing. Some warmth that should have been there and wasn't. "He looks nothing like Daniel," she said. She handed him back after 4 minutes. I told myself she needed time. Time passed. The comments didn't stop. They got worse. When Jake was 8 months old, we had our first big family dinner. Margaret sat across from me, watching Jake in his high chair. Daniel was in the kitchen. "He has your eyes," she said to me. "Not your family's eyes, just yours." I said, "Of course. He's our son." She looked away, said nothing. When Jake was 2, Margaret's other grandchild was born. Her daughter, Lisa's daughter. They named her Sophia. Biological, golden-haired. The child Margaret had been waiting for. I noticed the shift immediately. Sophia got the handmade quilt Margaret had been working on for a year. Jake got a gift card. Sophia got the family heirloom music box that had been in the family for 3 generations. Jake got a toy from Target. At Christmas, Sophia got the big wrapped present under the tree, the one Margaret carried in with both arms and set in the center. Jake got an envelope. I started keeping notes, not because I was planning anything, just because I needed to know I wasn't imagining it, that the things I was seeing were real. First note, December 25th. Jake is 3 years old. Sophia receives silver photo locket, family heirloom. Jake receives $20 gift card. I kept writing. When Jake was 4, he noticed. He was sitting next to Sophia at Easter, watching her open a basket overflowing with gifts. His basket had 3 chocolate eggs and a card. He looked up at Margaret. "How come Sophia gets more stuff?" Margaret smiled. "Sophia's a very special girl." Jake thought about that. "Am I special?" Margaret paused just long enough. "You're very sweet, Jake." I was standing 6 feet away. I heard every word. That night after Jake was asleep, I confronted Daniel. I told him what his mother had said. He frowned, rubbed his face. "She didn't mean it like that. She just doesn't know how to talk to kids." "She talks to Sophia fine," I said. He went quiet. I want to believe he understood, but he loved his mother. It was easier to explain it away. I added the Easter incident to my folder, wrote it out in detail. Date, time, exact words. Jake started asking questions when he was 5. "Mom, why was I adopted?" I had practiced this conversation 100 times. I sat down with him, eye level, the way every parenting book told me to. "Because we chose you," I said. "Some babies are born into their families. You were chosen into ours. That makes you extra special." He thought about that. He had a habit of chewing his bottom lip when he was thinking. "Did you love me before you met me?" I was not prepared for that question. "I loved the idea of you for 6 years," I said. "Then I met you and loved you even more." He seemed satisfied with that, for a while. The real trouble started at his 6th birthday party. Margaret arrived with Sophia. She had brought Sophia a gift, not Jake Sophia, because Sophia had lost a tooth that week, and Margaret said she deserved a reward for being brave. At my son's birthday party, she gave another child a gift. Jake watched Sophia open it, didn't say anything, just watched. After the party, when everyone had gone, Jake came to find me in the kitchen. I was cleaning up. He stood in the doorway in his party hat. "Mom, am I really family?" My hands went still. "What do you mean, sweetheart? Grandma Margaret. She doesn't hug me like she hugs Sophia. She doesn't bring me things like she brings Sophia. Am I not really hers?" I set down the dish I was holding, walked over, knelt down. "You are mine," I said. "You are Daddy's. You are absolutely, completely, 100% ours. And you are family. Real family. But am I hers?" I looked at my 5-year-old son's face. He deserved honesty. Age-appropriate honesty. "Some people take more time to open their hearts," I said. "That's her problem, not yours. It says nothing about your worth." He nodded like he understood. I wasn't sure he did. I added item 31 to my folder. Birthday party. Sophia given tooth fairy gift. Jake witnessed. Direct question about belonging. I told myself I would give Margaret one more chance. One final chance to do the right thing. Jake's 7th birthday. I planned everything perfectly. His favorite cake. Chocolate with blue frosting and a dinosaur on top. His best friends from school. A backyard full of balloons. Daniel's whole family. I invited Margaret personally. Called her on the phone. "Margaret, Jake's turning 7. This is a big milestone for him. I need this day to be about him." "Of course," she said. "I'll be there." She arrived early, helped set up the chairs, made small talk, smiled at Jake when he ran past in his birthday crown. I thought, maybe today. The party went beautifully. Kids screaming and laughing, Jake glowing, Daniel grilling burgers, wearing a ridiculous apron. Everything felt right. Then came the candle moment. Everyone gathered around. "Happy birthday," loud and off-key. Jake's face lit up like I'd never seen before. He squeezed his eyes shut to make his wish. We cut the cake, passed out slices. Adults stood around in clusters with plates and drinks. That's when Margaret stepped to the center of the yard and raised her voice. "I want to say something." The conversations died down. People turned. "Jake," she said, "you are a very sweet child. I want you to know that." Jake beamed. He loved compliments. "But I think it's important," Margaret continued, "for this family to be honest. Real family is built on blood, on where you come from, on shared history and genetics. And while we all love Jake very much..." I felt my stomach drop. He isn't really one of us, not in the truest sense. He never truly will be. Silence. 30 people, not one of them spoke. Jake's face did something I will never forget for the rest of my life. The joy just left it, like a light being switched off. Daniel's mouth was open. He looked at his mother like he was seeing her for the first time. I counted to 3. 1, 2, 3. Then I walked to the center of the yard. I want to share something too, I said. My voice was calm, completely calm. I had waited for this for a long time. Jake, sweetheart, you know the special folder Mommy keeps on her phone? He looked at me, nodded slowly. I connected my phone to the outdoor speaker and the little Bluetooth screen Daniel used for barbecue playlists. This is what's in it. Item 1. I read aloud. December 25th, Jake's 3rd Christmas. Margaret gives Sophia a family heirloom silver locket. Jake receives a $20 gift card. Murmurs around the yard. Item 2. Easter, Jake is 4 years old. Margaret tells Jake that Sophia is very special. When Jake asks if he is special, she calls him very sweet. I read it verbatim from my notes. Every word. Margaret's face had gone white. Item 3. Jake's 6th birthday party. Margaret arrives with a gift for Sophia, not Jake, at Jake's own party. Jake later asked me in the kitchen if he is really family. I looked up from my phone. 30 people were completely still. I have 47 of these, I said. Every date, every word, 6 years of documentation. I kept them because I hoped I would never need them. I was wrong. I turned to Jake. You are the most real thing in my life. You are 100% my son. You are 100% part of this family. You are 100% loved. Anyone who tells you differently is wrong. Full stop. I turned to Margaret. You are not welcome in our home until you are ready to look my son in the eyes and genuinely apologize. Not to me, not to Daniel, to Jake. She opened her mouth. We're done here, I said. I walked over to Jake, took his hand, put his birthday crown back straight on his head. Let's finish your birthday, baby. That was 3 weeks ago. The drive home was quiet. Daniel didn't speak for 20 minutes. Then he pulled into a parking lot, put the car in park and cried. Really cried. The kind of crying that had been building for a long time. I'm sorry, he said. I saw it. I always saw it. I just didn't want to. I know. He called his mother the next day. I don't know everything he said. I wasn't in the room. But he was in there for an hour and 15 minutes. When he came out, his eyes were red. I told her she needs to get help, he said. Real help. Therapy. If she wants to be in Jake's life, she has to do the work. Margaret has not contacted us since the party. Her daughter Lisa called me last week. She was crying. I had no idea it was that bad, she said. I'm so sorry. I should have said something years ago. I saw the difference in how she treated them. I told myself it wasn't my place. I told Lisa I appreciated her calling, that I held no anger toward her. Jake asked me something last night. We were lying in his bed reading his favorite book. He stopped me halfway through a page. Mom, is Grandma Margaret ever going to love me like she loves Sophia? I closed the book, lay there next to him in the dinosaur sheets. I don't know, I said. I think that's something she has to figure out inside herself, and that's not your job to fix. He was quiet. But you love me. I love you more than every star you can see from this window, I said, and all the ones you can't see. He thought about that. Okay, he said. That's probably enough. He fell asleep in about 4 minutes. I lay there for a while longer, looking at him. This kid who grabbed my finger when he was 3 days old and never let go, who asked questions that break my heart and put it back together at the same time. Some things you choose. Some things choose you. Jake chose me first. That tiny hand around my finger. Everything else was just paperwork. Thank you for listening all the way to the end. If this story moved you, please smash that like button and subscribe. Drop your location in the comments, USA, UK, Canada, Australia, wherever you're watching from. I want to know. And remember, family is not DNA. Family is who shows up. Family is who stays. Family is who lies next to you in dinosaur sheets and tells you that you are loved. Take care of each other. See you in the next one.